The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Love stories in the hot seat.
Very good evening and welcome to the Love Talk Show,
where you can learn intelligent love.
Are you ready for the program of tonight?
Yes, I can see here through the
I
chat.
can see, Chris, we have said VYG. No, different places.
Oh, yes.
Connected, Woolwich,
I
Seven
see
Kings,
Newcastle,
Croydon. Jack from Ipswich, she's always connected with us.
They are always connect. You people, you should always connect with us, you know.
Yeah, let's see. I ask if there is anyone from VYG
Hackney,
connected.
Tooting, Brewing,
We have
Seven
a couple
Kings.
of people connected here with us
That's a
tonight.
pleasure to have you all connected with us tonight.
Definitely. Chris, in a moment we're going to reveal, of course they know already which is the couple here, but we're going to show them to you, not just yet.
They are already here with us.
This couple is a very special couple.
Yes,
Actually,
they are.
we just get to know them when we arrive in this country, Chris?
Yes.
Because we did not really know them.
Yes.
I do remember the first time that I spoke with this couple. I'm not going to tell the name, but I spoke with him. Just not yet. I believe you know who he is.
Yeah, they all know.
We are just like there in Plasto when I spoke to him the first time.
Yes.
He was just in our branch, I remember, in Sheffield. When I spoke to him in Plasto.
They are here
He said, I don't know, I don't remember. But I'm going to tell you, some of the times over the phone. But anyways, now we have been spend a lot of time together.
And it's really nice.
But we're going to share or review who this couple is and the reason they are here in our love story tonight.
Yeah.
But before that, we're going just to put this advert, this invitation for tomorrow, the single hours. Tomorrow the single hours is unraveling the myth.
Singles.
There is something very special tomorrow.
Singles,
so perhaps
be
you
prepared.
Can find love. You are looking for love. Sometimes people, Chris, think that something magical is going to happen to them.
Yes.
Something like, I don't know, they're going to see something. They're going to, their heart's going to have a lot of palpitation.
They have
it's
to
all
have
based
the
in love stories
butterflies.
they watch on TV.
The butterflies on their stomach. They have to.
But in reality, it's not like that.
Turn their face and look in the eyes like this.
Oh, you are the person for me.
Found you.
But actually, everything starts just with a conversation.
Yeah, of course.
We can talk more about that in a while.
Yeah,
let's go for this short video and then we're going to reveal who is this amazing couple we have here with us tonight.
These things I always feel so judged. People are just looking at me depths. But I'm actually here for love. I'm not here to be judged, Look, they're even staring at us and everything. So auditorium. I don't want to go single hour anymore. I'm really nervous about this single hour. I always feel like I'm being judged and I'm hard. Right? But you know what? Well, actually, this seems actually really friendly. Let's stay for the single hour this time, We do it, right? Yeah.
Love stories in the hot seat.
Here we are. Very good evening, Pastor Rees and also Bijoux.
Good evening, Pastor. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's a pleasure.
So I believe everybody knows this couple. I believe the VYG is all connected.
Oh my goodness,
they are asking us questions here, but doesn't mean we are going to ask those questions to you. However, Pastor Rees and also Bijoux.
Should we start? Shall we?
Yeah, we shall. But the thing is, what is very much what is interesting that people, they always have different personalities. We have been seeing this in ourselves, and also many couples that we have dealing with or speaking with throughout so many years. And of course, we know, I think, a bit both of you. We are like brothers and sisters here in this beautiful rainbow.
Yes, we spend a
and
lot
of
of
course,
time together.
and we spoke before in a pastor meeting in Plast the first time.
I don't remember this.
You know the thing. I have good memory
Yes, you do.
because we have
indeed.
the table of the English people, and I always speak with the table.
I don't have a good memory. My wife has a better memory than I do. So
Yeah.
I
But I do have a great
He
memory.
does
I don't
have.
forget things.
I don't.
But she will not remember.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Pastor Rees, I know you have been responsible, you and your wife, for the work of the VYG. And it is such responsibility because we have a lot of young people, not only people with problems, but people who want to think about their future, their life. And you also had your own experience with each other. And I believe that's the main thing we want to find out here
Yeah,
tonight.
just
I will start the question, Pastor Rees. And we're going to start the get ready. Pastor Rees, who, let's ask for both, okay? Who, had interest into each other? Who liked each other first?
Oh, that's a controversial one.
It shouldn't be controversial. In the service, we learned about the truth. The truth is
It's
absolute.
a controversial one because I have my story. She has her
There's
story.
no my truth. It's the truth.
No, this is not my truth. And the evidence we're going to say so that the audience can digest and come up to their conclusion, because the evidence is in prayer.
Okay.
Right?
Go on.
So I have my story. So I happened to be an auxiliary pastor in my wife's branch at the time. She was an assistant. And funny enough, I was actually talking to one of my colleagues who was looking for somebody. And I said, oh, no, there's an assistant in my branch. She speaks French, she's a really good assistant. She wants to do the work of God. I think both of you will be
A
good.
good match.
Would be a good match. So I didn't have anything for my wife, but she started having something for me, and then she said a prayer because she didn't like what she was feeling, I think.
Okay.
So she said a prayer to God and said, God,
She's
I
gonna
don't
tell her
understand."
side
She's
of
gonna
the
tell her
story,
side,
okay.
but I think it's not my truth, it's the truth. So she said a prayer and said, God, I'm having these feelings and stuff, and I can't have these feelings for my pastor. So God, if this is too much, take him away from here.
Wow.
No, the prayer
So
went like
hold
this.
on, let me finish my story.
Okay.
So take him from here. So she said the prayer on a Monday. On a Tuesday, I got a call to move branch.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So her prayers were answered.
A quick one.
Okay.
Express.
So according to you,
Yes.
she had interest on you first.
Yes.
Okay. So what is it, Bijoux?
So there's parts missing to this story.
Okay.
That is the truth.
Okay.
But there's other parts.
Okay.
So before, it wasn't that I was always interested in him, but he was suggested. So I was called to one side and said, oh, you're an assistant, you want to do the work of God on the altar. There's this auxiliary pastor, do you know him? It was the bishop who was talking to me at the time.
Yeah.
And then the bishop at the time didn't say his name or whatever. And then he asked for his phone and showed me a picture. And when he showed me the picture, I was like, and he was like, why? Is everything okay? I said, oh, Bishop, he's the pastor in my branch. This is a bit awkward. And so I think after that, I was like, I started to consider. It wasn't that it happened naturally. I started to think, why would the bishop suggest?
You start thinking of the photo that you saw. I think when you see,
Just like,
ladies.
The photo
when
he
she
was
saw
shining,
it,
he was glowing.
shining.
Yeah, maybe see him in different eyes. So I was like, wow, this is the one.
This is the main.
But then, I started to see him a little bit differently and observe him to see if this could possibly work. And I guess from there, some feelings started to develop. And like you said, I didn't want to be the type of person, I'm just liking the auxiliary pastor in my branch. So I spoke to the pastor's wife and she encouraged me to pray about it. She said, go to God. So I went to pray and I prayed. I said, God, I don't know what these feelings or thoughts are, but if this is the person that you are showing me, then remove him from the branch because I don't want to be awkward around him and stuff like that. But if he's not, then he can stay.
Okay.
The pastor never noticed any difference on her behavior.
No, I was
Yeah.
clueless. Clueless because
Yeah.
as auxiliary pastor, we're very focused, and I'm very driven. I'm very focused. So for me, she was an assistant in the branch,
And that's
it.
about it.
and that's it.
That's
Yes.
how it should be.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's how we
exactly.
teach all the assistant pastors and
Yes.
everything else.
Yeah.
Even for good to explain that to the
Yeah.
youths,
Yeah.
because you are dealing the work with the VYGs and the youths.
Exactly.
You see, you cannot try to get into someone
Yeah.
to like you by the way you behave around them.
Mm-hmm.
It's something quite different. It's not really how things work. So
Yeah.
she said she knew, she was shown actually a photo of Rees, and from there it's, oh, okay, a possibility starts there, in your head. Say, okay, could be that's the person for me.
Yeah.
And of course, you don't want to be someone in a very awkward situation. And
And I didn't want to do things wrong.
of
Yeah.
course, that's the secret.
Yes.
But how long after, and who approached who?
When did I leave? July? I left in July.
I think so. June or July, yeah.
I left between June or July, and then in October was the love walk.
Okay.
And then I received a call to say, would you like to go on the love walk with
Bijoux.
Bijoux? And then, it sounds so strange because I don't normally say your name. And then, and then I said, okay, I'll give it a try. I don't have anybody at the moment, no problem. If that's what God wants, then okay. So I said yes. And then she had to buy a kit. I remember this day, she had to buy a kit for me and her to go on the love walk. And then she bought the kit.
Why did you not buy the kit, Pastor Rees?
No, I don't know what happened. I think we had run out of the kit in my branch, so she had to get the kit
from her branch.
from
from
she was
here,
in
from-
Finsbury Park
okay,
at the time. So she had to get the kit from Finsbury Park, and we had run out at my branch. So she got the kit, and then she got one for me, and then she came to drop it at the branch that I was at. And she literally walked in, threw it at the reception, and she ran out.
Because I was so shy. Because I was told by my pastor, look, Rees is going to call you, he's going to take you out for the love walk. And I was like, huh? Really? And then he called me and he was like, would you like to go on the love walk with me? I was thinking, is this a dream? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And so I went to go buy the kit, and I was so nervous on the way on the train. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to say? And when I walked in, Pastor Morris was there. I remember
Yeah,
he
the
was
reception.
at the reception
Pastor
with you.
Morris?
Yeah.
Yes, I was with him in Kilburn.
In Kilburn, and I think I just got scared because there was another pastor there, so I just and I ran out.
Walk away.
And then Pastor Morris looked at her, who's this lady?
Because Pastor Morris is very active, so he
He
was
didn't-
very proud.
He didn't know who she was. He didn't know what had happened. He just, who's this lady? I said, oh, she came to drop something for me. I said, oh, okay. I thought it's just a
Yeah,
lady
I
who
was
just came
just-
and dropped something
yeah.
and then just zoomed out.
So your first conversation with each other, it was in the love walk.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
the phone call, because you
It
called
was a
her.
phone call. But
Yeah.
prior to that, because we had worked in the same branch, I knew who she was. She knew who I was. But we never had a conversation about
Each
our
other.
future
Other things.
together.
Future, yeah.
It was more about the work of God, about winning souls, about doing the
Yeah,
things
of
of God.
course. But when you call her, you just said that you're gonna take you out for the love walk. How was that conversation? You're not good of memory, so she might remember.
I think I remember a bit. I think I used to have. So I asked her a question if she was ready when I called her. I said, "Are you ready?" And she said, "Oh, okay, I'm ready." And then I said to her, "Okay, so would you like to go?"
She's looking to see if it's exactly that.
So I said, "So would you like to go on the love walk with me?" And then she paused for a bit,
Yeah.
and then she said, "Did you say yes or did you say okay?"
I said, okay.
She said, okay. She said, okay. And I said, okay, so we're going to go on the love walk together and we'll see what happens. And then it was a quick phone call. So when we started talking, we didn't have any, it wasn't like mushy emotions, and it wasn't.
Yeah, it's
it
not
wasn't
about
like that.
feelings. It's
Yes.
really much about getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Yes,
So there
that's
was
nice.
none of that. Prior to getting to know her, I had been in a relationship that did not work out. So I was very, I was still healing.
Yeah, that's a good point, Pastor
Yeah.
Rees. I'll allow you to continue that Rees, because that's something that sometimes people they don't understand. Because you are not the first, especially pastor, who speaks about that. For example, Pastor Michael Souza as well spoke about that.
Yes.
That he also had a relationship for a few years. He is a relationship. I don't know how long was the relationship for, Pastor.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing as him.
Pastor Michael.
Michael Souza from Tamires.
Yes, but the other Pastor Michael too.
And the other Pastor Michael too. Both Michaels, they had
Yes.
a previous relationship for almost 2 years.
Yes.
It did not work out. And Michael Souza, what he did? He said, no, I'm going to focus in the work of God.
Yeah.
But actually he was not healed. He said, I'm going to focus in the work of God now. When the time comes, when I have someone, and when Tamires...
And Tamires was the one that wants to go to talk to him.
Tamires
So
tried
he
to
said,
speak to
He
him.
didn't want.
He said, I don't want it because
Yeah.
in his mind,
I'm not ready yet.
I'm not ready for another relationship now. If it does not work out, I cannot get it wrong again. And I believe you had some kind of, not necessarily in that particular way, but you are healing.
Yeah, so I had already healed. I didn't want to start something new without being healed because it's not fair on the other person.
That's correct.
So when I came out of that relationship, I think I went a year without talking to anybody, having any like prospect. I just wanted to have just myself with God and learn, because it's like, so you get into a relationship and you never think this relationship is not going to work out, because you get into a relationship with the hope that it's going to work out. So when it doesn't work out, you go back to say, God, why did this happen? And for me, I didn't want to ask God, why did this happen? I just wanted to ask God, God, give me the strength to continue, because I always said that before I met anybody, I was married to the altar. So my marriage with the altar comes first. So no one can take me away from the altar. And I remember saying, God, you can give me somebody else, but no one can give me another God.
Yeah, definitely.
So because there's only one God.
Exactly.
So that's what I had in my mind. So when we started talking, I was seeking from God, God, what is the best way to do things better? Because I don't want to treat her with PTSD in the back of my mind to say, oh, is she going to do this to me? Is she not going to work
do comparison
out?
with
Comparisons.
with the relationship that you had before.
I
That's
didn't
something
wanna,
that's
yeah.
not fair.
I didn't want to do that. So I was seeking God, God, what do I do? How do I go about this? So the Holy Spirit was teaching me and helping me to do things with her that I didn't do in my previous relationship. So
That's correct.
some of the things that we did together was that we did a Bible challenge together where we read the Bible together and, share what we got, feedback with each other. So we read the whole Bible in 1 year together, the year that we were together. We read Bulletproof Dating together. We would read it and then stop
Do
and
the
discuss.
challenge and discuss the
Yeah.
challenge.
And discuss what we got from it. We read Bulletproof Marriage together, discussing. So our phone conversations were not just trivial. It was not,
Yeah.
just,
Because you don't
whatever.
get to know someone with trivial conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to
it
ask the right
was-
questions.
It was
Maybe-
more
Yeah.
real life scenarios. What do you think? How are you going to behave? How are you going to react? If this doesn't work out, what are you going to do with your life? What else?
No, I agree with everything that you said. I mean, you took the time to heal. And I think for me, I had never been in a relationship in the church. So I'd had relationships before I came to God.
Before coming to the presence
Exactly,
of God.
before coming to the presence of God. So when I came to God, I had a lot of doubts in my mind. Will anybody want to be with me? Will anybody accept me for who I am? How my past has been? And so I had all of these insecurities, kind of like these myths, like nobody's going to like you and stuff like that.
That's something you guys are going to talk about tomorrow, by the way, huh?
It's going to be powerful.
It is. And so during my time in the church, I had to learn to heal in order to prepare me for a relationship. And I remember coming to the love therapy services really, really helped. And there was like a special purpose one time that really is where I surrendered all of these insecurities. Because
What about the stone?
there was a purpose
Yeah.
about putting the stone on whatever it is that is still troubling you. And I took that purpose like, no, God, this has to be it, because I can't keep coming and I'm thinking in the back of my mind, but am I really going to be good enough for a man of God? Is there going to be somebody who's going to love me, who's going to, respect me, who's going to want to build a future with me? I had to get rid of those insecurities. And those insecurities, they didn't even make any sense, because once you come to God, you're made new, you're clean, you're a new
Definitely.
creation.
Yeah.
So I had to really surrender all of those doubts. So in order to be prepared for this relationship, I also had to I also had to heal.
to work yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, and one thing is important, Pastor Rees, and also Bijoux. People many times they take off the element of faith. You see, the relationship only works if faith is there. For both sides. So you start everything with faith, because faith has nothing to do with emotions.
Yes.
So you have to make intelligent choices. That's why we tell people how important it is to come to the love therapy seminars, or to come to the single hours, to give an opportunity for them to learn an intelligent faith, to think, to reason.
Yes, and that's what Pastor Rees did about the past relationship that he had, and he thought within himself, I don't want to commit the same mistakes. I don't want to go to the same. What I did, what should I do different on this new relationship?
Yeah.
It shows that there is healing, because we can learn from our past mistakes
not
as well.
blame.
And not blame,
Not
and not
blame.
bring it to
Even
a
the
new
other person
relationship.
that did not
No,
work
not
out.
at all.
Yeah.
Like I always say, I never speak bad about my
The
previous
previous
relationship, because it doesn't make sense to speak bad about the other person. It was a relationship that didn't work. But in all of this, sometimes I joke with my wife, because when I gave my life to God, when I surrendered my life on the altar, got born of God, baptized with the Holy Spirit, came to do the work of God on the altar, my wife was not in the church.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes people are thinking, I look around and I don't see anybody. When I gave, you don't know.
I agree 100%, Pastor, because
But that's the other way around.
it's the other way around with me.
Yeah.
I was in the church, I had received the Holy Spirit, I was serving God. My husband wasn't in the church yet.
I was somewhere else, do what I'm not
Yeah.
supposed to do.
So I was already an auxiliary, and my wife was not even in the church yet. She hadn't even considered
see?
coming to the church yet.
Not myself. I mean, not myself as well. But that's a very good thing, very good point. Because it's important to mention as well, Pastor Rees, because you are not been married for a long, long time. How long have you been married, both of you?
4 years.
4 years now. We say like this, 4 years and counting.
4 years.
That's lovely.
4 years to infinity.
Yeah, but that's the
beautiful.
secret. Yeah, until our Lord Jesus take us from this world, because that's what we do. And I believe your desire. It's important for all the young people who is watching us from the VYG. The reason that you have a wife, and the reason that your wife decided to be with you, because you want to remain
Yes.
in the presence of God until the last day of your life. And what you love to do is to save souls.
Yes.
Our lives, what we do for God, there is nothing for us more important. We don't have a wife that we can just worship her, or a husband that you worship him, that he's the reason of my life.
No.
The reason of our life is our God.
It's like a partnership. We have
But we love what we do also together.
serve,
It's
yes.
more important as in married the altar.
Yes.
And people have to understand that you have been serving God for a long time.
yes.
Longer than you have married. Almost 20 years already, then, Pastor? 17 or 20?
No, 14.
14
on the
years
altar.
in the total.
14 on the altar, but when I gave my life to Jesus, almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years. So
Nice.
you gave your life to Jesus almost 20 years. I've been serving God on the altar 14 years already.
Yes.
So, and you were, when you met your wife, you're basically in between 8 to 9 years or 9 years.
10 years.
10 years. 10 years,
Yes.
literally.
14.
10 years on the altar, yes.
Yeah. So you see, so 10 years on the altar. So you knew what the altar was about, serving God was about. But now, God was, blessing you with a woman of God, that you could complete your work.
To have the helper.
Yeah,
that
because now I
a man
think you
needs,
can
yeah.
speak for yourself, Pastor Rees. I think for you now, you can understand the difference of the first 10 years that you are doing the work of God, and the difference now with these 4 years that you have been married.
Yes.
Am I right?
100%, because when we've given ourselves to God and we've entrusted God with our love lives, we trust that whatever happens will be for His glory. So 10 years ago, nobody could have seen or foreseen this moment here. Nobody could have seen it. But God saw it.
Yeah, for sure.
And God planned it. So today we are doing the work of the youth group. We're also helping in the love therapy. We're helping in the singles hour. Nobody could have seen that today we'll be here. We didn't see it. We never thought about this.
Look
this
like God always choose people that do not think about doing what they're supposed to do.
I think
like,
he literally does it.
If there was something that we want, if how can I express it? This was very far fetched from anything that we thought God would use us for. But it's the plan of God, and we have to trust in the plan of God. We have to have understanding that we may not see certain things, but God sees it. And sometimes these things are easier said than actually doing, because 10 years being in the work of God, you know, at the time I was 14 years already in the presence of God. So sometimes people think, oh, Pastor, I've been single for 5 years. And I look at them thinking, 5 years? I was single for
longer than
14 years.
What are you talking about?
It's like, what are you saying? And for some people, it's almost as if God is not enough for them. For the 14 years, I loved every moment of God. I loved every part of it with God, you know. And sometimes, I don't know, my wife can say this more, but when my relationship did not go well, I was in my wife's branch.
At the time.
So when my relationship didn't go well, I didn't mope around. I wasn't, you know,
sad, upset,
walking around, making people feel sorry for me, anything like that. If anything, my desire and passion for God even increased. I think
your focus is
maybe that's what caught my attention.
I think in that branch, the work of God grew more during that moment than anything else, because my passion, it was me showing to God, I'm with you not because of what you can give to me. I'm with you because I want to be with you.
Because I love you.
Yes,
I want to be with you. Yeah.
I want to be with you. And if someone has that mentality, there's no way that God will not bless them. There's no way that God will not find somebody who's going to bless you. I can honestly say, even though we didn't like each other before, but I can honestly say that my wife is one of the best gifts God has given to me. Aside of salvation, aside of, you know, serving, having the capacity to serve Him on the altar, my wife is one of the best things that God has given to me. We get along so well. It's beautiful.
And you know what,
it's nice.
He always used to say that he would never be with somebody from my country. Did
Don't
you know
do
that?
This is going into romance.
He always used to say.
It's not a war. Good, Pastor,
but it's good because people have,
has this mentality,
criteria.
this criteria.
I would not say criteria, but I would say misconception. You know. Here we can find that you know, this is different from, you know, you're from Brazil. Though I know we look like British, but we are not British.
No, not at all.
Yeah, you can notice by the way we speak.
By our accent.
But this such thing does not exist really in Brazil.
In Brazil, yes.
This you can find when you go outside Brazil. When you were in New Zealand, we could see that.
Yes.
People from a country, they don't really much want to be involved with the people from a different country.
Island in the island.
That something happened back then. It's not that they don't like the people from that country, but they will never have a relationship with them.
Exactly.
So in the group of people, they will get together with the people from their country. It's like something automatic.
Well,
I think it's something. I think this. Is
but let
something
Bijoux tell.
Yes,
so he didn't like people from Congo.
Please share because.
Well, he said he would. I don't know if he didn't like people from Congo, but he just said that he would never be with somebody from Congo. But look, one of his greatest gifts came from Congo.
You cannot escape from that.
Yeah, but now you're Ghanaian, so it's different.
I'm Ghanaian now. It's true.
She's Ghanaian, so fully.
You know, but that's something. It's good, Bijoux, you say that.
Yes,
because I mean, the time flies. You see, it's almost the time to finish our program.
Yes.
But one thing you said is very good, because there are many people in the church with this mentality.
Yeah.
Yes.
What they're looking for is the appearance, the country the person is
Very
from,
much.
or the language they speak,
Yes.
how they look. They're not looking for nothing
content.
spiritual. They don't look for the content. They want to know who the person is.
Yes.
They just do the first judgment from, this person from this country, but maybe everybody else is like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the people is going to do.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of things that in nowadays is very, 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 common and deep inside of even the church.
Yeah.
Among the youths and among everybody else. You can speak about that.
That's important. People know how the Holy Spirit bring that unity, that
together,
these things doesn't even
exist.
exist.
Yeah, it
You
doesn't make
become,
sense.
I can tell you that you become like a part of each other.
Yeah.
You know, a moment that I would just say that a moment will come, because as time pass, you're going to realize that Bijoux is going to have more of Rees on her, and Rees you're going to have more of Bijoux in you, in a such way that people can spot on in the service
Yeah.
who your wife is without meeting her.
Yeah.
You gotta say, how did you know? There is many people sit down. You say, which one is my wife? They're gonna point to who your wife is,
Yes.
even without seeing your wife by you or besides you, because you're gonna look alike. It's still with your personality, different personality. But you're gonna look much alike, like because you start living with this person for so long time, and you start getting habits and way of dealing things.
But yes.
But Bijoux, talk a little bit about that before we finish our program. How is it this idea of these conceptions that he had about Congolese? And
I don't know what his conceptions were. I think one of his that they were loud, or I don't know. I don't know if somebody from Congo offended him, and then he said in his head, never going to be with the Congolese. But yeah, he just always used to say that. This is before we got together.
Of course,
he was quite vocal about it. Congolese people.
He was vocal. Yeah. But it's like this, and I see now when he walks in the church, he just speak with Congolese people now. I think has changed a lot.
Yeah, you've made him to change.
To change now. He analyzed
now
the
I think
language.
he's a little bit of Congolese too.
I think he's a bit nicer.
He's a bit nicer.
Yeah, he's a bit more approachable. Before he was very.
No, a lot of people have said that. A lot of people said that when I
You
was
were more
single, I was
rigid.
very scary.
Oh yeah, he was scary.
But that's the thing. I think it's common, Pastor.
Because I was very serious.
Yeah.
I was very serious, very disciplined. I'm still very disciplined, but I was very serious. Like, I wouldn't smile a lot. What else?
Laugh a lot.
I wouldn't laugh.
Yeah.
Not in public. I would laugh when I was with
The other
other
pastors.
pastors, but for other people, I wouldn't laugh a lot. But we're learning from each other. We're taking things from each other.
Yeah, I mean, relationships like this.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. See, when we were single, as a single pastor, because it is a bit different. So in Brazil, you look after branches as assistant pastor. As you are single, you have a lot of responsibility. So it requires from you the behave in a certain way.
Mature,
Exactly.
Very
Mature
mature,
way,
very
yeah.
serious. Yeah, because imagine you are dealing with
He
everything.
was
by
also,
yourself.
Pastor, very serious.
I was very
but
serious.
very,
yeah.
very.
People
But
should think
Didn't
that I
scared
am.
me. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, people should be scared of me.
Didn't scare
Can you
me.
believe? I'm so kind.
It's
as I
unbelievable.
think so.
Unbelievable
Yeah, now he has a lot of me.
in him.
Yeah,
And make
in him.
but that's the secret. I mean, sometimes people would misjudge. I believe that has happened to you as well. But when they look at me, because we have like a serious face, I have a serious. I don't know if that's correct in English. I have a serious face. So without the person speaking to me, when they look at me the first time,
They think.
they this very, very straight pastor, angry pastor.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not that. They never spoke to me.
It's just the face.
Yeah.
It's
But
just the face.
they love to help.
It depends. If you do what
that's-
I'm not supposed to do,
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
cannot guarantee that.
yeah.
Well, of course, we have a lot of questions, Pastor Rees, and also Bijoux. The time, flies.
It
Yes.
flies.
But I want to take the opportunity that we are going to.
I can't
Have
even
the-
find the other. There's
we're
too
gonna
many
have-
comments.
We're gonna have the single hours
Yes.
tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
and obviously, the relationship do not start in a single hours. But the love talk was an opportunity that you spoke to each other. For example, one thing that I would like to ask you, Pastor Rees, to say for the man side, how was for you to make that phone call? Because it seems like something very simple. Just, I'm going to get the phone. She was an assistant in my branch, so I know her because I spoke to her before. I'm going to call her and invite her to go to a love walk, for example. You can tell them because the mentality of people here is a bit different from the mentality of people of Brazil. I don't think you can tell me if it was very easy for you to do that, or it's a bit difficult for you to do that. What was your reaction when you heard, look, invite her to go to the love talk?
I was nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
It
can you
was
imagine?
really,
Yeah?
it was really, really nerve-wracking because I
Yeah.
received the message, and I think it was my pastor that was even urging me to call her because he said, "Call her," and then I said, "Okay, pastor, I'm gonna call her," and then I didn't call her.
Because it's not
It's
really
like-
an easy thing. It's good for
not
people to
because
see. Yeah.
Sometimes you think, "Oh no, you're a pastor. Who's going to say no to you?" But people are
Exactly.
entitled to say no if
Whatever
they don't.
they want.
If they don't like you, if they're not interested, if they don't feel the same way. So it was a lot of building up the courage to actually call her and ask her. So I called her, I think I did a few pauses on the phone, and then I mustered up the courage to actually say, would you like to go on the love walk with me? And I had nothing to lose.
Yeah, and that's why I would like you to tell to those who are watching us now,
Yeah.
they need us to try this in the single hours tomorrow, because sometimes you have been hosting the single hours for a couple of months, I believe, 3 or 2 or 3
Maybe
months,
3 or 4 months.
3 months,
3 or 4 months.
3 or 4 months, and you have noticed that sometimes they are there, they don't read.
Hesitation.
Yeah, the hesitation. So you can tell them that's never easy, but you overcome it. What they should do, please, Pastor Rees.
So for all the men, it's our pride. It's a man pride. You don't want to receive a no. You don't. Neither did I. But imagine if I had not asked her if she would like to go on the love walk with me. Then that means that there wouldn't have ever been a yes. There wouldn't have ever been what you see here now. Yeah. And it's something that's important for us to come out of, because once you speak, God will surprise you. Yeah. God will really surprise you, because maybe this person has been thinking about you and thinking, when is he going to muster up the courage to come and ask me if I would like to speak to him? But when are you going to find that out if you never, ever even give it a chance? So for all the men, as we learn in Intellimen, as we learn as men of God, muster up the courage. Tomorrow when you come for the singles hour, be bold, be courageous. You already have a no, like we always tell you. You already have a no. Without asking, it's a no. So ask and see if the answer changes, and you'll be surprised what God will do with you.
Definitely.
Nice,
Thank you very much,
nice.
Pastor Rees. I think it's a very well advised.
Yeah.
I sign it. I sign it.
Approved.
Yeah, because again, I ask you, Pastor Rees, because I know you were not born in this country, but this country is your life, is your culture, is everything here.
Yeah.
And you understand these people, I say these people more than me.
The British culture.
The British culture
yeah.
more than me, because it's different. So I was quite shy to call you, no?
No.
You forget about it. It's another program.
This is something else. No.
That's for another thing.
Not shy.
And what about you, Bijoux? I would like you to tell people now. Because the thing is, he had the boldness and the courage to call you, but you are welcome.
Yeah.
Though you were, I don't know, you can tell what was happening in your mind at that moment, because you have a bit of hesitation. You are thinking what you do, what you say, but you welcome his invitation. You accept it.
Yeah.
So sometimes also you may see that in the single hours. So the girls or the girls that are there, or the women that are there, is not really a welcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe the guys try to come close, they already
And then they get shut down. Yeah.
So you can tell a little bit, how was that phone call?
So I think despite being nervous, like I had to have an open mind because first of all I had to understand.
You can look to that camera.
I had to understand that he was also being put in a difficult situation to ask me, so it wasn't going to be easy for him. And what did I have to lose by also giving it a try? Because if I say that I want to be blessed in my love life, and somebody is coming, mustered up the courage, to approach me, I'm now at a stage where I'm ready to invest in my love life. So what do I have to lose? And you never know what's going to happen. Like he was saying, God will surprise you. So after I said yes, and then we went on the love walk, from that conversation I thought, okay, as much as I was nervous throughout the whole conversation, but I left that conversation thinking, okay, like I can see a future with this. But
that's the secret.
But literally, but if I hadn't accepted the invitation, then I wouldn't have known that.
Or play the hard one.
Played hard to get.
Leave a short advice for the
get,
women tomorrow coming to the single hours. Because we already passed 8 minutes of our program. I need to finish.
So ladies, come tomorrow with an open mind. Come ready to see what God has for you. You will never know if you don't give it a try. Sometimes we pray, my God bless me, but then we have opportunities like the singles hour and we despise the singles hour. But the singles hour is a great tool that the church has provided for us to take our love lives to the next level. So come with an open mind, an open heart, and come to enjoy, speak, be approachable, smile, come dress nice, smell nice, be welcoming, because nobody likes somebody that plays hard to get or plays difficult.
Yeah. Excellent.
It's very off-putting. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very
Well,
off-putting.
our time is run out. It was a
Yes,
pleasure, Pastor
it's
Rees and
nice
also
to
Bijoux,
have
to have
both.
you
Thank
here
you
with
for
us
having
as a-
us.
Very
as a-
nice to have both.
as a guest in our program. And as we always say in our program, come to the Love Therapy seminars and learn the intelligent love.
Yes.
So don't miss tomorrow the single hours if you are single. The Love Therapy seminar, we're going to have Pastor Fagner and his wife Camilla
Yes.
taking part in the hot seat,
Nice.
sharing the experiences of their marriage. And I believe it's going to bless your life. Okay? Have a wonderful night. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.